Hello, it's me, Robin, and I'm here in my living room, and I am a hot mess. It's been a long day. I did not sleep last night, and then I had grandkids all day today. So this is what I look like when I don't sleep and I have grandkids all day. And then Ellen like just popped on me. I'm not supposed to talk about anything negative, but yeah, she just popped on and said, "Hey, could you do a training on raffles and could you hurry up and throw a few together because it's just that easy." Um, but that wasn't the thing I was going to be negative about. I was going to be negative about Pam saying, "Hey, everybody, hop on. Jim's going to be on." And I'm like, I know she plays favorites, but why wasn't it Robin's going to be on or Rebecca's going to be on? Nancy's going to be on. No, Jim. Jim is the favorite, clear favorite. And I'm a little butthurt. So there we go. There's my negativity, Ellen. I told you I was all positive. But today we're talking about raffles. So if you know me, you know that I hate raffles. But somehow I became, oh, and Nancy, I just wanted you to notice my husband set these up for me, and I just want you to see this. Look at that. Beautifully aligned. The Mickey ears aren't quite all the same, but they are all toward the little thumb hole. So he did that for me just a few seconds ago. Well, not a few seconds ago, but anyway, raffles. So I did make up three different raffles for you for May, and I think they're all beautiful. Ellen said they look good, and I said, I know. But this one, I'll start with, let's see, we'll start with the little one. Okay. So I made this one up for the 5-piece bowl set. There we go. And it's got 25 spots at $4 a piece. That will cover your shipping, your tax, and your bowls. And that will cover tax, I think, up to 9%. And my printer's funky. So color printers aren't all they're cracked up to be, Nancy. But that's the one. Show you that one. I will be posting these on Champion. I did notice one mistake. I asked two people to check them for me, and they both missed it. The second one is for the 7-piece bowl set. So this one has 27 spots for $5 a piece, and that's for the whole 7-piece set. And that is a $162 value, and all the information is right on there for our 7-piece set. When I do this, I just use Fonto to put their names right over top of the little bowls in with a white background so that they stand out. And then just to mix it up and make them different, I do have my retro set here. And this is for both the bowls and the pitchers. And it's $5 a spot, and we have 30 spots for that one. That one is $142 value. So how do you get these to fly? Um, I used to just post them on my Facebook, just on my regular Facebook. I didn't even hide them into private places. And I still do that. That's where I do get the most response is on my Facebook page. But I did notice lately, the last couple times I've done them, that they're not being seen like they used to. So you avoid using those words like raffle and drawing. Sometimes I'll say draw. That doesn't seem to be a problem. But because I've been doing these a while, I tag people that I know like to do raffles. I have a bunch of people in my circle that like to do raffles. So I'll tag them in the comments so that they definitely notice it. But another thing that really works to get the word out, if you have a bunch of Facebook parties, open old parties, and maybe you post in them occasionally or anything, I have noticed, and actually I've gotten parties because of this. I'll post the raffle in the party and tag everyone. And these parties, some of them are, 5 years old. That's how long I've been doing this. And I get people ordering the tickets, but then sometimes I get them to then I that starts up the conversation again because they may be people that I don't even remember, but it starts up the conversation and opens up that line of communication again. So that happened with the party that I had 2 months ago. She bought a raffle ticket and she actually won, and then she had a party for me. So, anyways, so that's one way you could do it is to post it in your old parties, post it in your VIP group, of course. But another thing is message it to people. If you have people that like to do drawings or people that like the vintage, the old school 1980s Tupperware. My mom had all of this. Um, then send it to them. Send them just the picture in the messenger and say, "Hey, I'm doing this raffle. I didn't know if you'd be interested in taking a chance." Another thing, especially with these ones that you can just fill in, take them to your vendor events and put it on the table. My last one with the what did we do? What did I do last month? Oh, the Lucky Shamrocks. I sat that at the vendor table and I didn't really push it at all. But then somebody asked, "What is this?" And I said, "Oh, it's you can win $100 in Tupperware." And everybody that was standing at the table at that moment bought bought a chance. So that was fun. None of them won it, but oh no, actually one of the ladies there did win it. That's true. So she was there, but she didn't buy it there. She bought it off of my website. So that's another way you can to get this filled in. Also, try it with try it in text messages with your friends and family. My cousin works at a dentist office and I always send her my form and she asks all the ladies around the office. I don't work in an office, so it's not as easy. But a lot of people in the offices like to gamble. My daughter's mother-in-law loves to gamble. And so I'll send this to her and all her family. She sells them to her nieces and her sisters and it helps me fill up the chart. But that's some ways you can get it filled up. Now, once you've got it filled up, I always state either in my instructions or else on the form. I think it's on all these forms that the drawing does not take place until I fill the form. So, once you fill the form, and you do your drawing however you want. If you want to do it with random numbers, I personally like to physically cut my paper up and pull them out of a hat. I would probably use one of the actual bowls from the set that they're going to win. Um, and I do it live. I just like to do it. It's dramatic. I like to talk to the camera like I'm doing right now. So that's how I like to do it. Not everybody does. Sometimes I have a cute grandchild pull the number. Sometimes they pull a second one just because they didn't like the first one, and then you're kind of stuck and you have to give somebody something extra. But that happens too. But once I pull the name, whoever that is, I let them know they can either get this. Maybe they don't want this. Maybe they just bought it to be nice, or they could get that value, whatever the cost, your cost of this would be. So for this one, it would be what 59 and 58, $117. They could get $117 in Tupperware of their choice. You can always give them that option. Maybe they already have this. Maybe they just ordered it at a party. You can always give them the choice of getting whatever other product in that dollar amount. The last thing I do after they pick out what they want, if they're taking the set or if they're getting something else, I always tell them, I ask them if they have any warranties that they want to take advantage of at that time. And since shipping's already paid for, and I also ask them if they want anything else. Is there anything else you would like? Because shipping's covered. And even if it takes my shipping up to the next level, I just take that. But sometimes they throw a couple extra things. When I do the $100 raffles, I always have them go, they always go over $100, sometimes 30, sometimes 50, and it's always a good time. So there's just some ways to just upsell it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Shipping is already included in all of this. Your taxes included. Um, does anybody have any questions? Is there anything that I haven't covered that you'd like to know what to do? Oh, I no, one more thing. When we did the big Super Bowl, the big jumbo that's a bullet during the Super Bowl, when I did that, I ordered them. It was fine, but then I got my money back because they sold out. So, and the same thing happened with Jessica. She had a couple people, she did a couple of the raffles and she hadn't even gotten to order hers and they were sold out. So what do? That's when you give them options. So, and that would be an instance where you could say, well, you've got, $35 to work with, or, $110 to work with. You can pick out Tupperware of your choice. I apologize. So that's can happen, and hopefully the people won't be too upset. But hopefully it doesn't happen to you. And if you do it early in the month, you shouldn't have a problem. But you just never know. So those are my tips and tricks and how I do mine. So vendor events, put it on your old party pages, put it on your VIP page, and I put it on my main Facebook and in my story too. I've never gotten any issue, had any issue with that. So
Robin, they have two
yes,
questions for you in the chat.
yes,
First, Gail wants to know, will these be on Champion for them
yes,
to use? And
yes.
then Michael wants to know, you had mentioned tagging people. Where are you tagging them?
I'll tag them in the comments. If I like, if I have a few people that buy every single time, and I just tag them in the comments. Hey, Jonathan, do you need a spot? He always gets Jonathan. He spends more on raffles than he does on Tupperware. It's crazy, but he wins. He wins frequently. He just called me for a micro pro grill. Fortunately, I had one for him. So, did you say there was another question? Oh, if they're available on Champion. Yeah. So that's both questions. I have to fix the one. I sent them to Ellen and to Rebecca, but I have to fix one because it doesn't meet my quality standard. So I noticed this
Thank
one.
you so much, guys. Give her some love. Like seriously, she always does such a phenomenal job at these. She does such a great job with the raffles. She's always so willing to share because she just it's not just about the document, it's about the before, the after, the behind the scenes. It's all of those pieces to it that make it successful. And so that's why we ask her to share so much about this, because she really has that down to a science. And it's her personality too. It's her personality, the way she follows up with her customers. It's all of that. She's the package. So thank you so much, Robin. We appreciate you.